Welcome back to another episode of Is It Just Me podcast with Cecil Carson, where you laugh and learn. Happy New Year! Woo-hoo! Everyone who is listening to this, I wish you a very, 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 very blessed year and a prosperous one with full of health, and let this year be full of testimony. I'm telling you, Happy New Year. Oh God, I don't even have a sauti, my people. Niwe scream yangu yote. Like, oh God, I think I overdid it. Like screaming and, getting excited, having to start a new year. I don't take it for granted, and that's why I don't have a voice. So it's been so long before I posted one, because I'm telling you, I hata mimi nilienda off. Like the offices venye tu walifunga wakasema we will be back on the first week of January. That's what I also did. And you know what? Nimekuja na energy ingine hata guys, I'm sure you're not ready for it. And that being said, I just want to know, how did your Christmas and New Year ceremony go? I will really, really be happy if you share your story on how you celebrated. Now let me talk about how I did my Christmas, how I did my New Year Eve and the New Year, how tulivuka mwaka. So Christmas nilienda ushago. Nowadays Christmas imeturned to be another thing. Like, you don't go there celebrate. The only thing that you're gonna do is just know, and you're gonna eat a lot of nyama. That's it. But the rest of the days, my people, God, you just work. It's full of work nowadays. We just go there for the rest of the year that you have not been going to ushago. No, you like ni kama unalipisha. You go at a place yenye ujaiosha, like the corner yenye haijaiosha, you go wash it. And knowing that maybe next time unapatikana huko tena, maybe it's like 6 months after Christmas. So like unafanya kazi, unaenda unaosha nyumba, unaenda kitchen, you cook, unaenda kwa ng'ombe, unachuna majani. Like, you get, Christmas is another thing. Christmas you're not celebrating. Christmas you go and work. Ndonanga watu wengi saa zingine wanakataa kwenda Christmas, but I really appreciate it, because grandparents and the ones who are there kushago, they always appreciate, because I think for them now they see it's a Christmas, because like we are just helping them from the work that they are used to. So kama mse alikuwa amezoea, anaamka anaenda anachuna majani ya ng'ombe, alafu anakamua ng'ombe, so like tunawasaidia, and for them they relax, and I think that is the happiness, the smile they always have on their face. I think that is more enough, like, Christmas thing. So to cut it short, my Christmas was more of like working, and I don't regret. Niliumwa mgongo, by the way, like, damn Christ, but I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for my parents. Thank you for my family for being there. And, tulifanya kazi teamwork, tuliosha vyombo, tukasugua sufuria, jamini. Hey. But all in all, hope you have a great story. I will really don't mind if you share it down there, comment section. And now let's go fast forward to how we spend our new year. This is an evidence that my voice imepotea with the screaming, and nilienda sasa to another ushago, like if you have both parents, if you have like a stable family, which I don't take it for granted. So the Christmas nili spent kwa my maternal family, and then the New Year nika spend it to my paternal family. So my new year nilienda teke 31st nilikuwa huko. There's more of gaming, more of celebrating with my cousin, more of dancing, a lot of games, like dancing chairs and all that. and a lot of praying. God, I like how, like we appreciate and we always acknowledge the presence of God and the work of God, the deeds. Like, we have not been falling sick, we have not been having these issues na kugongo na gari ama nini, like, sort of bad luck. Let me just generalize it like that. Tumekuwa tu salama. So we had to acknowledge that, the mighty powers of God. And ikafika sasa ni ile countdown. That's where the voice ilipotea, ikapotea. Like, I think, like, kwetu, the core MC, like, we have my cousin who is an MC, and then me namsaidia. So the MCs lazima to shout and coordinate things. So we had to scream, and mind you, kuna watoto. So, and watoto lazima will scream and just talk loud so them they can hear you, and coordinating, it's not an easy job. MCs, whatever, listen to these. Kudos. This job is not even easy. It's not easy. So hapo part 10, counting down, like from 10 to 1, hapo ndio sauti iliisha. And then from there kuna ile steam panda. Oh God. Please don't forget to share how you celebrated how you rukad your mwaka. Like, how did it go? Celebrating with your family, some occasions or some event, especially like the new year. You really kind of share a lot and learn a lot from them, because there's a point like everyone is telling out their testimony, telling out what they learned from the 2022 and what their resolution and how they're going to take the rest of the coming months. So it's a lot. I cannot compare it when you ruka it kwa club ama nini. It's fine, it's real fine when you have your friends there and drinking and all that. But again, I think the reason why I prefer having it with my family, because now, coming the rest of the other Fridays, I will be having my friends, and we can plan and go out and drink. The same thing you did when for New Year Eve. It's a bit so different. So hope you had a good one. And not talking much about how I celebrated mine, because it sounds like I'm bragging about how my family is good and how I really enjoyed my New Year Eve. Let's go to the flashback moment. God, okay, I'm straining. I can see the sauti. Just let me sip this water. I'm back. So it was New Year's Eve of 2017. So tulikuwa tunaruka 2018. Tulikuwa pale with my cousin, and I'm telling you, like, my cousin nakuanga, like, she's a social person and I'm an introvert, so I don't have a big circle of friends, but she has. So on 31st tukagri we are going for sermon, twende church, turukie huko, and then we go back to home na to maybe watch a movie or something like that. So sisi ndo wao 2017 31st of December tukaenda kanisa, tuka celebrate, and then ndo hiyo countdown ikafika, tukiwa church we prayed, and a new year tuka celebrate. That energy everyone always have. Tuka celebrate, and then there's something that this kasaki tenye likonektiwa ya ku celebrate more. Like, we just felt like this is not enough, you have to celebrate more. So nikaambia kuzo yangu, like, oh yeah, fanya aje, because you have friends, just contact them and ask them wako happy to join. And luckily we have a family friend, and I also know him, and my family knows him. Like, it's family friend, yeah. So the first person alikuja kwa mind ya cousin yangu is that guy. So akamcall, and he was like, hata niko area mse, so tufanye aje, we tu kama hapa hivi base, tuko hapa hivi kwa gari yangu, utaiona tu, and we wait for other people's, like, wamerukia wako Thika and they're coming huku Nairobi, we tuongoje alafu ndio twende out. Oh, like, damn, hata hakuna haja kwenda home, let's just go and join them. Tulikuwa tu mimi na tulikuwa mimi na 2 cousins of mine, wote ni wasichana. So and tukaenda huko base, tukawangoja, and kwa gari yao they were like tulikuwa overcrowded, like we were like, let me say like 7 people, and the car ni 6-seater if I'm not wrong. I don't know how big cars was in a county seats, but anyway tulikuwa like excess. So tukakaa hapo tukachapa story, and we were so excited, and calls, a lot of calls like happy new year, wishing everyone a happy new year, great, a great year. So in that time tukipassive, the other friend of his wakakuja, and so tukozile za, you guys, you just go to the other car, and ndio at least tusikuwe excess sana. Because those when you walikuwa natoka Thika, the car was not full. Kuenda kwa hiyo gari, I'm finding myself ni mimi tu girl dame hapo kwa gari, and I was like, okay, you know what, let me trust, because he's a family friend, and we trust him, so I bet hizi nitupa kwa machali wabaya. So I was like, okay. Now I was the only girl, as I said, wakasema wache nikae kwa katikati, like sasa kwa the back seat. So kulikuwa na chali alafu mimi katikati. And there was like, now tunaenda club gani, kulikuwa na history ya Edge. That time, it's 2018 now, the Edge ile ya CBD, your club ilikuwa tu ina rock tu vibaya sana. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa kusema hizo time. So wakasema wacha tuende Edge, but before that wacha tuchome weed. Remember, mimi si like, these are boys, so wakasema mko na weed, sawa, wacha tuchape hivi kidogo, tugonge like puffs hivi, and then sasa ndio tuanze the journey. So ikaanza pale kwa driver akachapa puffs zake, ikaenda kwa driver akachapa puffs zake vizuri za weed. Then after hapo, ile time yenye ule mse kwa driver alienda sasa kupasisha the weed, now the joint, sasa the joint blunt sasa kwa the back seat, sasa ndio chali mmoja achukue. Kumbe karau wako within tu, like waliona, like, unajua sasa tulikuwa tumefungua window, so like the smoke was getting out of the car, and definitely we'll just know like in smoke ya weed. So karau wakakuja. Damn, let me tell you, the guy mwenye alishika hiyo joint hivyo, hiyo weed joint hivyo, alitafuna. They just wanted wasipate evidence like tulikuwa tuna smoke weed, because definitely they cannot record ati kulikuwa na smoke ya weed, how aje. So remember, my cousins wale madem wako kwa ile kaingine, mimi tu ndo niko hii side. So wenye wale wa ile gari waliona like ni kama radars ni chafu pale na mapolisi, au walijikata like walijidistance, I mean wakasonga wakaenda mbele kabisa, like you can't even tell like you were together. So polisi akakuja akasema, nyinyi ndio mna smoke weed huku hivi, mna smoke bangi vijana, tokeni. And you know what, like si walikuwa the co-driver and then the 2 boys wenye walikuwa back kwa gari, wakachukuliwa, wakashikwa, wakafungwa pingu. And then so I was like, definitely I was not going to smoke weed. So the police walikuwa zile za, msichana, nini unafanya hapa na wasichana vijana wabaya? And I was like, okay, let me just explain myself first. They are my neighbors, and tumetoka church, and wakanipata kwa barabara when I was going home, wakaniambia watanipe lift, and that's it. By the way, me, I don't know these people, and so please, if you do anything with them, don't think I was with them. No. Unasema niliwaruka kipeteru kiyesu. Maybe by the way, siwezi fungwa mimi, and later ndio nilikuja ku understand the police don't even hawafungangi. It's not easy polisi kufunga mademu. And I was like, okay, so in that time sasa wakajitetea. So and remember, when you are mbele yetu, they cannot call to ask like rada ni gani, because if they ask, they will be told to come and maybe watashikwa. So we tried to talk to a bribe hapo kidogo, and the boys managed to bribe the police with 6K. And remember, our police, they always know watapata ganji at hiyo time because watu ni wengi wenye like watapatikana kwa hizo mama crimes. So wakaturash wakalikuwa nasema ni fanyeni haraka ama tuingize kwa polisi. So we had to tukawape 6k. Wacha nikwambie, remember there's this guy mwenye litafuna weed na akameza ndio eradicate the evidence, like we had the bank joints. Wacha zianza kumnice, azikamnice, akaambia polisi, unajua nini, atapatani tuchape photo na nyinyi at least tukue na ka memory, zilikuwa zimemnice kashet. So sisi tukaingia kwa gari and back to kujienjoy, tukaenda Edge. Alafu sijui tulikuwa, I don't know, that day was like I can't even this flashback, by the way, I'm just remembering it because it relates with this episode of today. Yeah, Happy New Year, because damn, I don't really like to remember it. Do you know, tulienda huko, I don't know, we were so excited, watu walikunywa tu hivyo recklessly, wakalewa vibaya sana. Kwanza madem, like my cousins, walilewa vibaya sana, wakaanza kusema I love you nini, wakaanza kukiss huko. Macheli wakaona hii form sipo. I was the only one who was like trying to control myself, I think, because madem macheli walikuwa wasema na Carson, mbona wewe ulewi na unakunywa? Like I think I had kuna ile design unaweza danganya wase unakunywa na kumbe umeka maji mingi. I think that is the trick. I don't drink, I really don't drink, but again I just felt like I'm not going to go back kwa nyumba and stay there. So I had to get out and I had to like fix myself and try to match with the energy that they had. So I was drinking more of water compared to how they were drinking the alcohol, and that's how they were so drunk than me. So ilifika point my boys wakasema hii rada ni chafu, mademo na tubo. So my cousins, they had to be driven back home. And when tulifika kwa gari, when tulifika home, walikuwa wamekeo, so they had to be carried pelekwe kwa nyumba. Damn, one of my cousins, wachaanza kupuke. Oh fucking shit, like, oh god, I can't even. Anyway, that's how tulivukanga mwaka 2018, and that is the first time I encountered so close with polisi wakifungana pingu and sort of the thing, and luckily sikufungwa. So hope you didn't have such an experience mukivuka this mwaka of 2023, because I would really not wish someone to pass through that. Sometimes it brings an assumption of how your year will be, but trust me, that's not how my 2018 was. I think it was more of a relaxed or a normal year like the others. So let me cut this story short and wish you again happy new year of 2023. Na please akiniombeeni sauti yangu irudi, like I'm struggling. But as I said, I will never ever stop podcasting because of some small issues, like kupatia sauti because of celebrating 2023. So with that, we're going for the third section. In our Did You Know section, we're going to talk about substance use disorder, that is mostly known as drug addiction. Okay, so what is this drug addiction? Drug addiction is also called substance use disorder. Is a disease that affects person's brain and behavior and leads to inability to control the use of a legal or illegal drug or medicine. So substances such as alcohol, marijuana, and nicotine are also considered drugs. So if you're taking excessively intake of alcohol, or you're smoking marijuana and also the cigarette, and there's a way that you are unable to stop it despite the harm of it cause, just know you are having a drug addiction and you might have the substance use disorder. So the drug addiction can start with the experimental use of recreation drugs in a social situation, and for some people the drug use becomes more frequent, and for others, particularly with opioids, drug addiction becomes when they take prescribed medication or receive them from others who have prescription. So let's exactly check what are these drugs that people are fond of abusing. There is marijuana, hashish, and other cannabis-containing substance. There is K2, spice and bath salts. There is barbiturate, benzodiazepam, and hypnotic drugs. Those are prescription for central nerve system depressants, and you find people are abusing them because of they have side effects that can make someone get addicted to them. They also made cocaine and other stimulants, and not forgetting club drugs, that is especially the ecstasy or molly. Those are mostly the drugs that people abuse. Okay, so going back, let's check what are the signs and symptoms of these drugs. So in generally, depending with which drug you are abusing, there are different sort of symptoms that you will experience if you are abusing them. So generally, I will talk about the common symptoms that one gets. So when you're abusing a drug, there is a sense of euphoria or feeling high. There is alertness, sense of vision, auditory and taste perceptions, increased blood pressure and heart rate. The others, when you use the drug, you have red eyes, dry mouth, decreased coordination, difficult concentrating or remembering, slowed reaction time, anxiety or paranoid thinking. So sometimes cannabis, when it comes to cannabis or marijuana, the cannabis odor on clothes or yellow fingertips. That is especially when you are smoking it. And then the major you are having cravings for certain foods at unusual time. So when you use these things, drugs on a long term is often associated with decreased mental sharpness, poor performance at school or at work, and ongoing cough or frequent lung infection. That are the drugs that especially are used via smoking. And some of the other symptoms that when you use them and maybe you're not used to them, and maybe you're in that particular point you're addicted to them, you might be feeling this paranoia, hallucinations, and then vomiting, confusions, and violent behaviors. So those are the common signs and symptoms. But it's also the other symptoms that I haven't mentioned, depending on the drug that someone is abusing. When to see a doctor is exactly when you have these symptoms, you really know you are having this drug addiction problem. So when you're feeling that you have to use the drug regularly, that is daily or even several times a day, having intense urge for the drug that blocks out any other thoughts, over time needing more of the drug to get the same effect, taking large amount of the drugs over a long period of time than you intended, making certain that you maintain a supply of the drug. Like when you have no drug with you, you just feel like you're not normal, so you have to maintain the supply of drug. That is something that you should be that shows you have to seek for a doctor attention. Spending money on the drug even though you can't afford it, not meeting obligations and working responsibilities, or cutting back on social or recreation activities because of the drug use, continuing to use the drug even though you know it's causing problem in your life or causing your physical or psychological harm, doing things to get the drug that you normally wouldn't do, such as stealing. Okay. Another thing that will indicate you really need to seek for doctor's advice is driving or doing other risky activities when you are under influence of the drug, spending a good deal of time getting the drug, using the drug, or recovering from the effects of the drug, and failing in you attempt to stop using the drug. And last but not least, experiencing withdrawal symptoms when you attempt to stop taking the drugs. So all those that I've mentioned are some of the things that indicate indeed you really need to go for a doctor. And more so, it's always recommended you go for a psychiatric review, because these drugs, they always affect the mental health or your mental judgment. So going for a psychologist and also going for a psychiatric advice and for you to be checked and evaluated is really a good deal. And if you find it's you have been using it for a longer time, it's also recommended for you to go for rehab after going for a psychiatric review and given some medication to reduce the withdrawal symptoms, because even the withdrawal symptoms may lead you to be very, 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 very sick. So it is always advisable first to go for psychiatric, get the proper medication so you can head to rehab, just to strengthen your ability to say no on these drugs, so that to prevent more relapse. So that is it for today. Yes, we were talking about substance use disorder, and the reason why I've talked about it is was talking about use of marijuana, which I really don't advise, because people are now trying to make this marijuana use or the alcohol use or the nicotine use to be more of like a simple lifestyle living. Like it's not a big deal. But again, I remind you, when you long use this substance or these drugs, it might affect you when in future, maybe after 5 years, 10 years to come, you might be having these memory issues and also health issues according to what drug you are using. So I really advise you, please, if you're seeking for a recreation, a way of doing things, avoid drugs. To be honest, really avoid drugs. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my episode, and also turn on the notification bell so that you may get the new videos that they are coming. I'm telling you, this 2023, we pray that we have this energy continuing, and we try to make this page to grow and grow. And for those who are listening to the Apple Podcast and Spotify, thank you so much for support, because I'm seeing what you're doing here, guys. Just really, really helping me out, and you motivating me to continue sharing these ideas and what I have in mind. Thank you so much. You have been spending time with Cecil Carson. Bye, and I'm out.